we are live.
So, hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. My name is Shantanu Rana, and today I will be taking this session on career in data science. But before I start with this session and we start discussing different aspects of data science, I want all of you to confirm in the chat box whether you all can hear me, whether I'm clearly visible or not. Please do let me know in the chat box if you have any expectations from this session. I'm clearly audible, visible or not. Once you guys will confirm, we'll directly start off with this session. So please do use the chat box and let me know. Okay, I see Anshuman Shukla is saying hi sir. Hello Anshuman, how are you? Mahant is saying hi sir. Hi everybody. Hello. Yes, that's what I want for this session. I want all of you to be very interactive throughout this session. If you have any queries, any questions, do use the chat box. Let me know whatever your doubts are and I'll try my best to clarify all your doubts. Yes, I see Pankaj is saying all good. Monica is saying all clear. Mahant. Yes, perfect guys. Rajesh, Kishore. All right. Hello everybody. Hello. I love the energy already that all of you are being very interactive. That's lovely. Right, so we'll just start off with this session right away. To give you a little context of why we are talking about this and what exactly is the, why this area is in boom so much. So the simple idea is, that whatever we are doing today, we are doing nothing but generating data. Right now, I am talking to you, I am generating a lot of data. We use our mobile phones, we don't do anything but generate data. We use Instagram, we use Facebook, we are doing nothing but generating data. Now, when we are generating so much of data, what if we can use that data in giving us some insights which can really help us, which can really help the businesses? Well, that's going to be a wonderful thing. And that's where data science comes into the picture. So it's nothing but the study of data. It's the art of understanding the data which can eventually help us using some mathematical models, using the knowledge of statistics, computer science. Eventually, through that data, we will be able to make some insights which will help different industries and different businesses all over the world. Right, and that's the simple idea behind data science. And all of that we will be covering in this particular session. So now let's go to the agenda where I'll be showing you what exactly we are going to cover in this particular session. So as you can see on the screen, the very first thing that we will be discussing in this session is Introduction to Data Science, where I'll be telling you what exactly is data science and who is a data scientist at the first place. Once you'll understand that, then it is very important for us to understand the applications as well as a few examples. We are talking about data science. Just now I told you that when I'm talking to you, I'm generating data. When we use our mobile phones, we use Instagram, we use different social media channels, we do nothing but generate data. Right, so all of those are nothing but applications of data science. We'll be understanding what those applications are, we'll be taking a few examples and we'll try to analyze the situation. Then we'll be understanding the different stages which are involved in the data science process, what those stages are and how exactly we can go about it. Then technical and non-technical skills. What are the technical skills which are required in the area of data science? What are the non-technical or the soft skills which are required in the area of data science? Then a few ways to develop these skills. How can you develop those skills? The idea is very simple. You talk about any industry, there's one thing that is knowing the skills and the another thing is implementing those skills. Whatever you know SQL, you know Python, you know R, that is wonderful. But how are you going to implement that when it comes to different industries in the real world? So the knowing the real world application is very important, and that's what we will be covering, that what is that way with which you can develop all those skills and eventually you can implement those skills as well. Then job roles in data science. What are the booming this is a booming industry, as I told you. When we talk about data science in all the industries, this particular area is getting a lot of attention. The simple reason, because a lot of data is being generated. So definitely all these companies, different organizations, they want somebody who can come and analyze their problem, understand their problem, and eventually can provide them a solution by analyzing the data which is generated in the past few years. And that's actually the job of a data scientist. Now there are different job roles which will come into the picture, like a data analyst, or maybe a business analyst, or maybe a data engineer, an ML engineer, and finally a data scientist as well. Then there are different levels at that as well. A data scientist specialist, it can be a lead data scientist. All those things we will be covering towards the end. And then finally I'll be sparing some time where you all can ask me a few questions, any doubts that you have. One expectation that I have from all of you is that please be very, very interactive throughout. Whatever questions, whatever doubts you have, shoot it in the comment box and I'll make sure that I answer and clarify all those doubts. So I hope we are good to go. Please do let me know in the chat box whether you have understood what we are going to cover or not. If you have any expectations from this session, what do you guys think about data science? Let me know all those things in the chat box so that I also get an idea that what you guys have already, what is the amount of knowledge that you have about the field, and based upon that we will be having a strong foundation and definitely go forward in understanding and analyzing all these different aspects of data science. So please do let me know, what do you understand by data science? When I say data science, what comes to your mind? It can be a word, it can be a sentence. What do you think about a data scientist? Let me know all those things in the chat box, please. Okay, so I see a lot of people are saying hi, sir. Hello, everybody. Yogesh, Ankit, Prince. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy that you all are interacting. So grateful for that. Just let me know, what do you guys think about data science? Okay, somebody is asking, some machine learning or data science is same or different. Machine learning eventually actually comes under data science. Data science is vast, it's huge, and we will be covering that, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, sir, I'm doing my BCA. Is that possible to go in data science and get the job? Yes, it is very much possible. Even if you are coming from any background that is not related to the computer science domain or the informational technology domain, that does not mean that you need to be disheartened and you cannot go. Well, the simple answer is, if you have the skills, you can do well and you don't have to worry about anything else. So we in Great Learning, we have a lot of courses that you can do. We have a free channel as well, that is Great Learning Academy. We have this YouTube channel too, where you can start learning about all those concepts. Data science is definitely, it's going to, you have to understand the domain. You need to have a good domain knowledge. You need to know the analytical tools which are required. What is required for data visualization, right? Or what kind of database you will require. Maybe the knowledge of SQL, maybe the knowledge of Oracle, maybe R, Python, data wrangling, cleaning the data. A lot of skills are there that you need to be good at in order to become a good data scientist. Now that you cannot do just in one way or in a very random approach. So you will need some kind of patience and some kind of, a structure to learn all those skills. But if your question is that you come from a BCA background or BSc background, well, that's not going to be an issue. If you have the skills, you are going to get the job. You don't have to worry about it. If you come from a computer science or IT background, definitely you will have some kind of an added advantage because you have a strong background in that area, but it's not going to harm you even if you come from a BSc, BCA, MCA background. I hope that answers your question. Okay, Munendra Kumar is saying data science is to generate insight from data by using different algorithms and statistics. Yes, Munendra, you are right about it. Python, stats, ML, and little bit of DI will come under data science. Yes, Dina, you are right about it too, and we will be covering exactly that in the upcoming slides in much more detail. All right, I see a lot of people are writing operations on data. Yes, it's just a way of saying it, and you are right about it too. Converting raw data to useful information. Yes, yes, that's right. What we do is, see, for example, right now I'm talking to all of you. When you use your Instagram, I'm sure, let's take this very simple example, which is on hype these days. When we talk about these e-commerce applications like Meesho, Amazon, Flipkart, all these applications coming these days. Recently, a few days back, Meesho came up with an ad that don't buy right now, buy during the sale, which will come for the Diwali. right? So all these companies are coming for Diwali sales, and you go to these apps, you search for your products, then they show you some products as well, right? Recommendation that, hey, you searched for this book for cat examination, why don't you search for this book as well, which is for verbal ability, right? Or sometimes you'll just go to search for AirPods, or maybe you'll go to search for some kind of headphones, and the next day the ad will be showing you, hey, you were searching for this AirPod, now we have a discount on it, why don't you buy it, right? Some kind of recommendations will be given to you. Now how that recommendation system is working over there, that's eventually the use of raw data, and we are converting it into some useful information, that we are recommending people stuff that they are actually interested in. So that's also an application of data science, right? So there are so many examples of that, and we will be covering that in detail. So you're right about it when you said that it's basically converting the raw data into some useful insights. All right, then. I see like all of you are interacting and everything is good. Then I don't see any more questions. So let's just start with this session now. Now, as I move on to the next slide, you can see over here, now we need to understand, for we all have given it a picture that what data science is, right? So data science is nothing but the study of data. As simple as that. It's nothing but the study of data, where we understand the data, and what we do with that, that is also one aspect. Let's cover that. It involves developing methods of recording data, storing data, and then analyzing that data to effectively extract useful information to make informed decisions. Let's say I have a shop, or I have some kind of a market, retail market, and I'm like, okay, I want to sell a particular product, but that product is not working. Why is the sale so down? This is my business problem. How will I understand that what exactly can be the reason behind that? Now the reason behind that can be anything that we can figure out with the help of a data science. Now I'm sitting in a room, my AC is not working, or my AC is working, but I want to figure out that whether this AC will work in the next 5 years or not. The answer to that question is a yes or a no, can be figured out with the help of data science. After this, I will be leaving my office and I will be going to my place, and for that I will take an auto. The auto driver will be using a Google map. Right now that Google map will show us which is the fastest route, how much time it will take for me to reach to that destination. How's all that happening? That simple answer to all those questions is nothing but data science. It's nothing but a lot of data which is recorded, stored, and finally analyzed to give us some informed decisions, to give us some useful insights. And that's what data science is all about. Now, the goal of data science is to gain insights and knowledge from any type of data. It can be structured or it can be unstructured. We'll be understanding more about it. So data science is the art of discovering patterns and trends from vast volumes of data using modern analytical tools and techniques to draw meaningful insights and make business decisions. So this particular slide kind of sums up everything that we have discussed till now. It's nothing but the art as well as the science of discovering patterns and trends. Who is going to win the World Cup this year? Let's say you have that question. Well, we can figure that out, or we can predict that with the help of data science, right? Whether my mobile phone is going to work for next 4 years or not, that can be figured out with data science too, because we will be discovering the patterns, the insights, how this phone is performing from past few years. We will be analyzing the data. We will be finding the relationship between different types of data. Once we will be able to figure that out, then we will be able to analyze that data, and eventually we will be able to give a meaningful report, a meaningful insight that, okay, that is how this particular thing has been performing from past 4, 5, 10 years, and that's what the prediction is. So you can predict anything, and that's the application or the advantage of data science too. So I hope that is clear now. Now, who's a data scientist? We heard about it like almost every day. Data scientist is one of the top 5, top 10 jobs in India from past few years now. Now, why is that happening? Who's a data scientist at the first place? So the data scientist is a professional who combines knowledge of computer science, statistics, mathematics to analyze, process, and model data to interpret results and create actionable plans. Now, there are 3 fields that I mentioned over here. That is computer science, because you will need languages, the good understanding of programming languages, and how to get in, get a good insight about all those things. So that's the part of computer science. Then you will also need the understanding of statistics, mean, median, mode, and standard variation. A lot of different aspects of statistics you will require. Mathematics, you will need to know probability, permutation, combination, calculus, all those different things to analyze, process, and model data to interpret results and finally build actionable plans. So that's what a data scientist job is all about. So if you are good in this area, well, that's gonna be a booming area in the upcoming years. And it is already very, very booming in all the industries. You talk about pharmaceutical, you talk about banking, because in banking also, let's say we take the example of fraud detection. The fraud detection can be done, that's again one of the applications of data science, right? We can also predict that whether this person is going to get this particular disease or not. That prediction can be done, and it's an application of data science in the field of pharmaceuticals, right? So all these are different aspects, different industries where we can use the knowledge of data science to eventually predict something or to eventually innovate something. Now, why data science? I have told you about this, that there's so much hype about data science. Everybody you'll meet, they are just talking about data science. Every day in newspaper, you read the business articles, and it's all about data science. Why there's so much hype about data science? So the first thing is very simple. It is adopted by thousands of companies across the globe. You talk about any company, it's not just in India, it's not just in European countries, it's not just in USA, it's a global thing, it's a global phenomenon. Everybody wants to analyze the data, everybody wants some meaningful insights from the data, and that's what data science does. And that's why it is adopted by thousands and hundreds of organizations across the globe. And since it is adopted by so many organizations, so definitely there is so much employability chances. There are so many job opportunities, career opportunities as a data scientist or in the area of data science. And that's the beauty of this field. So that is number one reason that why there is so much hype about data science. Then second is high paying jobs with constant requirement. Why constant requirement? I told you, when we are generating so much of data all the time, then that means to analyze the data all the time, there will be a constant requirement of people who will be able to do that job. And since there's a constant requirement of people, employees who can do that job, well, we will need people and we need to pay them well. So it is a very high paying jobs that you get with this area, and there's a constant requirement as well. So good growth opportunities and good monetary benefits as well in this particular career opportunity. Then trending career path for decades ahead, a very diverse exposure. In data science, if you are a data scientist, that does not mean you will be stick to only one industry, because application of data science is literally in every industry. So you will be able to collaborate with people from different backgrounds and from different cultures, and you will be able to understand how things work in different industries and different organizations, and you will be able to apply data science knowledge over there to find some meaningful insights about the data which is generated in that particular organization or in that particular area industry. So that's the beauty of this field called data science. I hope this gives you clarity that why there's so much hype about data science. And as I have mentioned this before as well, the data science is among the top 10 careers in India at least. It's been from past few years now that data science is booming like anything. And you talk about any other countries as well. It's one of the top 10 mostly in all the countries. And the reason is very simple. We are generating data. We need people to use that raw data, make it structured, make it in a standardized format, and eventually give us some insights which can be used to improve the business, to improve the productivity of the company, for example. So if you take the example of any organization as well, let's say I take the example of some organization XYZ Private Limited. The HR department can use the data science tool as well. Maybe they want to predict whether one employee will be retained in this organization or not. So there comes HR analytics. That's eventually, you do nothing but you analyze the data over there. Similarly, you talk about marketing. Marketing analytics can be done. There are so many different areas where you can use this data science, and it can give you some beautiful insights which will really help your business, your organization. So that's the beauty of this field. Now I think I have spoken a lot, and it's time for you all to ask me any doubts, ask me any questions that you may have. So please do let me know in the chat box whether you have any queries, you have any inputs, you want to ask me something related to this field, you're expecting any more questions, anything. Do let me know in the chat box and I would like to take all those questions. Okay, Rajesh is saying data science is collection or gather data from different sources, filter and use it as per requirement. Yes, that's just a part of what data science is and you are right about it. Okay, so Chandra is asking me what are the basic skills a data scientist should have. Chandra, you have asked a very good question and I'm sure you will be able to understand that by the end of this session. So I have prepared content accordingly and you will be getting everything, all the skills that you need to learn, and you will also be understanding how you can learn those skills. So please be patient and we will be discussing that for sure. Okay, Rajesh is saying that he wants to enroll in data science. Okay, Rakesh, since you want to enroll, and at the end of this program, this particular session, I will be telling you a little bit about our program too, that Great Learning has to offer, so that if any one of you is interested, definitely you can go about it. Okay, Dharma is asking me qualifications for data science. See, the thing is very simple, Dharma. If you have the skill set which is required, it won't really matter after a point of time that which background you come from. Definitely, if you come from a statistics background, if you come from a, let's say, a computer science background, you come from a IT background, it is going to be an added advantage. But that does not imply that all the other people who come from a different background cannot go for data science. They can and they should, because if you want a career opportunity where there are ample of jobs and there are so many industries and so much of diverse exposure, well, why not to try? You can definitely give it a shot if you think you have that skill set and you are interested in the field. That's a given. Okay, Rajesh is asking me, do you have any example in which of the organization using data science in India as of currently? Rajesh, you will be very happy to know that in all the organizations, today whatever we are doing, right now I am creating, we are taking this webinar, we are taking this live session and a lot of data is getting generated and eventually that will be used to give us some meaningful insights, and that's the beauty of it. Almost all the companies, all the industries are using data science. We'll be talking a little bit more about the applications of data science. We'll take an example actually. All right, so I see these are the major questions that people have around the applications of data science, and that's what we are going to cover now. So as I already told you, data science can actually answer a lot of questions that students may have or anybody may have. You may ask yourself that which route will help me reach faster to my destination. During my commute, I have to reach from my office to my home. Which route will be the fastest? There are 3 routes for that. And Google Maps will be able to tell me that. How? Well, data science is the answer to that. Who will be winning the World Cup this year? The answer to that question can also be given by data science. Will this AC, as I told you, will this mobile phone or this AC will work? The system that you are using right now, will this work after 10 years or not? Well, data science can answer that as well. Isn't it crazy? Data science is very good, right? It can give us so many insights, so many meaningful things, and we can eventually use that for our benefit. And that's the beauty of this field. How many viewers like the same kind of movies? For example, if you go to Netflix, you go to Prime, right? Just like on Amazon and Meesho, they suggest you products. Similarly, on Netflix and on Prime, on Hotstar, they suggest you movies. Like, hey, you were watching this Hindi movie. I have a suggestion for you. Hey, you were watching this English web series. I have a suggestion for you. And there are suggested items over there. Now, how does that come into the picture? Well, that's also an application of data science. Now, let's take one example out of which, that how does Google know the traffic condition between where you are and where you want to reach? You must have seen, I'm sure, whenever we go somewhere, we don't always use Google Maps, right? Like we always use Google Maps when we don't know the destination, we don't know the path exactly. And Google Map will be able to tell us that it is going to take you 1 hour and 20 minutes or 1 hour and 50 minutes to reach there. And you should take this area because this road is more busy. Recently you must have heard about this Bangalore floods. So currently I am in Bangalore, and there were these floods in Bangalore, right? So in this time, if anyone of you is from Bangalore, you must have seen that in the Google map it was mentioned that, hey, don't go from this area because there's a flood in this particular area. How is Google map able to tell us all of these beautiful insights? How can it save my time? How's that even possible? How does Google determine the fastest way to reach your destination? If there are three ways to reach from Delhi to Chandigarh, then it will be able to tell me that which is the fastest way right now where the traffic is less. How's that possible? How is Google Maps able to tell me so much of data and is able to help me in so many different aspects? How to reach faster, how to avoid the traffic, how to avoid the Bangalore floods that I talked about. How's that even possible? The answer is simple, and the answer is data science. Well, that's not so simple. In data science, there are so many aspects, but it is such a beautiful thing that with the help of data, we are able to solve so many different problems which are helping us eventually, and different organizations as well. And that's exactly and precisely the reason data science is extremely booming, and there's so much hype about it, right? Now let's try to understand how Google Maps help us with this entire thing that we talked about. So Google Maps collects data every day from multiple reliable sources that primarily include smartphones. So we are using our mobile phones, we are going from one place to another, and we are generating a lot of data there. It continuously combines the data from drivers, passengers, etc. And making use of machine learning algorithms, Google Maps sends real traffic updates by colored lines. So for example, if there's traffic, there's congestion, then the Google colored line will be red. It will show us that the traffic is too much there, so you can avoid this area. Right now in the Bangalore flood area, it was showing us in blue color that the particular area is flooded, and that's why you should avoid this area. So data science can help us with all these things. This can help users find their optimal route as well, and even determine which routes and areas should be avoided due to road work or accidents. Similarly, when there are situations, for example, once I was in Delhi and there was some metro work going on. So Google Map is able to tell us that, hey, in this area there's some road work, there's some construction going on, so this area can be avoided. And that is beautiful. All of that can be done with the help of data science, right? And that is just one example. There are thousands of examples for that. Now, how can you do that? For that, you need the skill set. You need mathematics, you need statistics, you need data visualization, you need database knowledge, and you need all of that. And you need to be good at that. Well, how can you do that? We will be exploring that in the later half of this session. Now, what are the different stages which are involved in the data science process? Right. So before I get into it, again, if you have any questions, I'll take a few queries and then we'll start with the stages which are involved in this data science process. Sorry. Tejas is saying, what do you think? What shall be the future of data science? The future is really bright. That's all I can say. Because think about it. Initially we didn't have the phones, mobile phones. So we were not generating data there. Now we have it and we generate a lot of data. And that needs to be, that needs to be figured out. We can get some insights from there. Right. So things are changing. Things are moving towards digitalization more and more. And after the pandemic, after the COVID era, things are really moving. And that's the beauty of it. Because we are becoming more and more digitalized, we are using technology more and more. Hence, we have more chances that this area is only going to be growing. And there is no way backward. It's only going to grow. So I hope that answers your question. Alright then, now let's start with this. Stages involved in the data science process. Alright, so these are the major six areas or the processes which are involved in data science. Number one, you define the problem, you obtain the data, you clean the data, you do the EDA, that is exploratory data analysis, you do data modeling, and finally you visualize the data. So these are the simple 6 steps that are generally followed in the entire data science process. Now, how does that work? How do you define the problem, which is your step 1? You need to ask yourself, what is your business problem? What do you want to achieve? What are the different parameters on which your end results will depend upon? Right? All those things are extremely important. So let's say I was giving you this example. Right now, let's say I run a shop and I have, I want to use data science in that area. I want to figure out that which product to launch. Let's say I already have 3 to 4 products in my shop and I want to launch a few more products in the line. How can I figure out that which product shall I launch? Well, I need to understand that which products currently are the most famous ones amongst the customers. I need to understand where the sale is good, where the sale is bad. I need to understand the market. A lot of data is involved. So first of all, you need to define the problem, that what exactly is the problem. Then only you will be able to find the solution to that problem, right? So defining the problem is very, very important. You need to understand what is your business problem. What do you want to achieve? I want to launch this product. How can I launch this product? What data I will need? And when you ask this question, what data I will need, that is nothing but the exactly second step, which is obtaining the data. So which data will you need? Maybe to launch a product, I will need the data about customers. I will need the data about the existing products that I have in my company or in my shop. So all those things, what kind of data is required and to what level that is required. Whether I can get it from internal databases or I can purchase external databases. So internal is always more reliable, and that's something which is given. But you need to figure out, you need to ask yourself this question, that where to obtain this data from. Collecting data takes 19% of the total time spent in this entire process. So it is a very extensive process. It's going to take up to 20-25% of your time, which is specifically written 19% over here according to the data or the researches. So it is going to take a lot of time, but eventually if you have the data that you have obtained, then only you will be able to analyze it. And then comes your third step, which is cleaning the data. First of all, you have a problem, you define the problem. After defining the problem, you start obtaining the data. Now you have obtained the data, but that data is not going to be in a desirable form. Right? That data is not going to be standardized. Maybe the sources of data are so many. There are 10 sources of data, 20 sources of data, 50 sources of data. Once you have got the data, that is not going to be in a standardized format. You will have to do that. So you will have to clean the data, you will have to filter the data, you will have to convert the data from one format to another and consolidate everything into one standardized format. A few common things to check are, for example, missing values, invalid entries, data range errors, time zone differences, if there are any duplicates. All those are nothing but examples of cleaning the data, which is a part of your data wrangling process. And data cleaning takes 60% of the total time spent in the entire process. So that's how it works. 20% of the time is almost going in obtaining the data, and then 60% of the time is almost going in cleaning the data. So you end up spending your 70 to good 80% of your time in just obtaining and cleaning the data. After that, you use your mathematical, statistical, and computer science tools in order to figure out what is going to work out the best for you, and you will be able to get the meaningful insights. And that's how this entire process of data science works. Now the next step, the fourth step, is exploratory data analysis. Now you have defined the problem, you have obtained the data, you have, after obtaining the data, cleaned the data as well. Now it is time for you to analyze that data. So you do EDA, you perform EDA, that is exploratory data analysis. To inspect the data and its properties, then your different types of data are there, like numerical data, maybe categorical data, nominal data, etc. And that will require different treatment. You cannot treat all the data in just one way. In order to analyze the data, you need to figure out that what exactly should be the treatment for that particular kind of data, be it numerical, categorical, ordinal, or nominal. Then to compute descriptive statistics to extract features and test significant variables and to observe the interesting patterns. For example, we figure out, let's say I wanted to launch a product and we figure out that these kind of products are actually not working in the market. Customers don't seem to like it. Why? Because maybe there's some other substitute for that product. Let's say I want to launch a product for which there is a substitute which is much more cheaper, which is already available in the market. If I won't have the data and I won't be able to analyze all those things, then eventually I am going to be in a loss. Right? My business or my company or my shop is eventually not going to work because I did not analyze it. So once you have obtained the data, you have cleaned the data, this exploratory data analysis will eventually help you to compute the descriptive statistics, to extract features and test significant variables, and eventually to observe the interesting patterns and relationship between the data, which will help you in giving some meaningful insights. Then the fifth one we have is data modeling, which is nothing but the process of producing a descriptive diagram of relationships between various types of information that are to be stored in a database. One of the major goals of data modeling is to create efficient method to store information. And then last but not the least is data visualization. Now the simple fact is that not everybody is going to be a technical person. Let's say you work for a pharmaceutical company. Not everybody is going to understand those regression or those machine learning algorithms or those statistical problems. Nobody is going to understand that. So you cannot talk to them in that term. You have to make things easier for them to grasp. And that's where you use a lot of tools like Tableau, Power BI, and there are so many other tools that you can use in order to visualize the data. So the simple funda behind data visualization that you provide to the stakeholders a graphical representation of any data or information which is easier for them to grasp, because they cannot understand the technical terms. So you have to make in the efforts in order to make sure that whatever you have done, whatever problem solving you have done till now through data science, that is one thing. You need to be able to communicate that to the required people, to the concerned people. And that can be done very easily with the help of all these tools using data visualization. And it will help you in establishing the relationship between different elements, that why the sales is down. Let's say there was a company, ABC Private Limited, and that company was run by a person. Let's say the name of the person was, as I can see in the chat, Shobit. Let's say Shobit was running that company. Now Shobit, one fine day, Shobit suddenly finds out that the sales is not working. There's no sale for the particular product or the service that the company is providing. How will you figure out? Let's say Shobit goes on and hires a data scientist. So what the data scientist is going to do? First of all, the data scientist will understand that what exactly is the problem. The problem is that the sales is not growing. We are not getting sales for the product or the service that the company is providing. Once the problem will be defined, then the data scientist will start obtaining the data. Like, give me the data from past 3 months, give me the data from past 3 years, different kinds of data. There will be data about the customers, there will be data about the employees, there will be data about the company, the vision of the company, the mission of the company. There can be so many different types of data. Once you have defined the problem, once you have obtained the data, that is going to take a lot of time. Then comes the real time consuming process, which is data cleaning. You will be doing the pre-processing part of it. You will be cleaning that data. You will be consolidating everything in a standardized format. You will be finding out the duplicates. You will be finding out the missing values. You will be finding out the invalid entries. After figuring all of that out, after consolidating everything in a standardized format, then it will be time for you to actually do the data analysis, that is the exploratory data analysis, then data modeling, and finally the data scientist will be data visualization. And then that data scientist who was hired will provide a report to Shobit that, hey Shobit, that's what the problem was. And that's how you can find a solution to that. And there will be a solution that Shobit will be getting. Now, if Shobit is not a technical person, he will not be able to understand what regression is, what was this, or what was this, naive bias. They are not going to understand all those technical heavy terms. So what the data scientist will have to do is, we'll have to kind of graphically represent everything, graphically represent the relationship between different elements. And if that report will be given to Shobit, Shobit will clearly understand the business problem and the solution to that, and will be able to implement it, which will eventually benefit the organization. And that's exactly what data scientists do. So that's what data science is all about. So till now, if you guys have any questions, any queries, please do put it in the chat box, and I'll try to take all those different questions, and I'll try to answer all those queries too. And then we'll move forward to understanding the data science technical skills or the different terms that we have. Okay, Rani is asking me that, hello sir, I joined the data science course, but I am an electrical engineering student and I don't know ABC about coding. So is it the right decision for me? Yes, it is the right decision for you. If you are interested in the field and you come from an engineering background, that means I'm understanding that you already have a strong foundation for mathematics and for statistics at least, and you can definitely learn the coding languages which will help you. But coding is just a medium to eventually understand the business problem and provide a solution to that. So if you can learn those programming languages, programming tools, it is not going to be a big deal, and it's definitely a good decision if you are interested in the field. I hope that answers your question. All right. Now let's try to understand that what are the technical skills that somebody asked me in the chat as well for data science. The number one thing is database knowledge for storing the data basically, right? If we are generating so much of data, you need to store that data as well. You need to analyze that data as well. So there comes your SQL, MySQL. So database knowledge is one thing which is very, very important. Then the knowledge of mathematics. You need to be good at maths, right? When you are analyzing the data, or you are performing all those heavy analysis, the technical stuff, their mathematics is very, very important, right? And there are certain areas where good knowledge of mathematics is required. You'll need calculus at certain point of time, or maybe you will need probability, permutation and combination. So all those different aspects of mathematics are also very, very important. Then statistics, mean, median, mode, or maybe your standard variation, all those things, all those different aspects of statistics are also required, right? And that helps you in learning the programming languages, programming tools as well. When we talk about programming, a lot of students are asking me, so you can use Python, you can use R, there are different programming languages that you can use. Data wrangling is the pre-processing part, right, that we already talked about, which involves your cleaning the data and pre-processing the data to consolidate everything into a standardized format. Then machine learning, different algorithms that we have. Then data visualization for easier grasp, to provide a graphical representation of everything, which can connect all the dots, which can connect the relationship between different elements. And then finally big data, which by name suggests that when the amount of data is huge, right? So what algorithms you will be using, all those different technical skills are required if you want to move in the field of data science. And not just technical skills, a lot of non-technical skills are required too. For example, intellectual curiosity. Why? You should be able to ask that question. Whenever you're dealing, for example, when we talk about the data science problems, the data science processes, the first step was define the problem, right? So you should be able to ask that question, that why the problem is occurring at the first place. That why is very, very important. If you won't start with that why, you will never be able to get any meaningful insight out of that particular business problem, right? So all that curiosity, that intellectual curiosity, is very, very useful for a data scientist. So if you think you're a very curious person, you like to ask questions, you like to go in depth and try to understand the problem, well, it can be a very good career choice for you. Then communication skills. As I told you, whatever you will be doing as a data scientist, that's just one thing. But how are you going to communicate that to the stakeholders, to the concerned people? That is equally important, and more important actually. Because whatever you have done, that is just one thing, but eventually how will you provide the solution to that particular business problem in a few words, in a few visualizations, representations? Well, that's going to be a little tough job. And if you are good at communication skills, definitely it is going to help you. How much is the clarity of thoughts that you have? What is the clarity of words that you have? So good communication skills, excellent communication skills are definitely going to help you in the area of data science. Then business acumen. Eventually you are using data science in different industries, maybe in marketing, maybe in HR, and maybe in pharmaceutical, maybe in other industries as well, maybe in educational technology companies too. So you need to understand the business as well. Domain knowledge is very, very important. So along with your curiosity and your communication, you need to have some business acumen to understand that particular business and how things work in that particular domain, in that particular sector. Then collaboration, because there's a lot of diverse exposure, you get to meet a lot of people, you need to connect with a lot of people, you need to take ideas from different people, right? And generally this entire process of data science is not done just by one person. There are a lot of people involved at different stages, so you will have to collaborate with them, you will have to understand things from them. So that collaboration is also very, very important. Teamwork is also very, very important. right? So those are a few skills in data science which are very important in technical as well as non-technical. If you have any more skills that you feel are useful, please do write it in the chat box and help the students out. So again, I would like to, take a pause for a while and would request all of you to ask me any queries, any questions that you all may have. So please do let me know in the chat box. Okay, Yash Borse is asking me, sir, I'm in the third year of data science, so how should I prepare for my placement and how should I improve my skills? So Yash, first of all, I have already written a lot of skills on the screen. As you can see, the database knowledge, mathematics, statistics, programming tools, machine learning, big data, visualization, wrangling, all those are different aspects. So make sure you are good with that. You have the good domain knowledge for that. Once you are sure that, okay, you have the good domain knowledge, you should be able to implement that. Do projects, maybe get involved in some projects along with your faculties if you are a part of any college. Or what you can do is you can do some internships, you can try to get a few courses as well. You can go to our free platform too, Great Learning Academy. From there you can find a number of data science courses and you can try to learn those different skills. You can get certificates, right? So those are a few things that you can start doing, and I'm pretty sure that will help you during your placements as well. I hope that answers your question, Yash. Any more questions, please do let me know in the chat box. Okay, somebody is asking me a question about languages that you should know. Well, R and Python are very popular, so maybe you can start with that. Hope that answers your question. Somebody is asking, sir, can a CSC student also get a data science job? Yes, you can, for sure. Okay, Nasir is asking me, sir, how much time will it take to learn all those skills? Well, there's no fixed number. It can take 2 years for somebody and it can take 1 month for somebody, right? It completely depends upon which educational background you are coming from, whether you have a strong foundation in mathematics or not, or whether you need to learn everything from scratch, right? So there are different options available. I'll be talking about what our program has to offer in that area too. But I'm sure it is not just one fixed number. It depends upon how your foundation is like and what exactly is your capability. Everybody has a different learning curve, so there's no fixed number that can be given to it. But I'm sure if you have the enthusiasm and you are ready to learn those skills, you will be able to. It can take 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, or a year for somebody, but eventually you will be able to learn all those skills, and it comes with practice. Learning is one thing, you should be able to imply, you should be able to implement all those things, do a few projects, do a few internships, get in touch with your faculties, maybe get involved in a few more projects with them. So all those things help a lot because you will be able to implement whatever you are learning. All right. Now let's start with a few job roles. So I'm not going to get into the depth of it because I will save some time to take a few more queries towards the end. But let's just try and understand, what are the different roles. So if somebody is trying to apply to different roles and they are not aware that what are the different roles that we have in this area, well, this is the right time for us to discuss all of that. A few students I already saw that they were asking a lot about data analyst and business analyst, and these are the people basically who a lot of companies, like all these tech heavy companies, they hire business analysts from all these engineering colleges, BCA, MCA people as well. So data analyst, business analyst, data engineer, ML engineer, data scientist, these are a few roles, just a few roles in data science, but there are many more. But these are the most popular ones, and we will be talking in detail about these 5 roles. That is data business analyst, then data engineer, machine learning or ML engineer called, or data scientist. Now, as you can see, a data analyst is responsible to collect, process, and perform analysis on large data sets. They also have to perform queries on the databases from time to time. So that's what actually a data analyst does. Now, this is a little different from a business analyst. When you're talking about a data analyst, your focus is on data. You're collecting, processing, and performing analysis on large data sets. But when we talk about a business analyst, that person has to have some kind of business acumen to understand the business, to understand the business problem. So a business analyst has good domain knowledge and understands the business problems. They provide solutions that are often technology based to enhance business processes. Right? So a business analyst will have some kind of acumen for the business. They need to understand the domain in which the industry is. They should have some kind of domain knowledge which will eventually help them in becoming data scientists as well. If you have good domain knowledge about the industry, you will be able to analyze the data better. You will be able to find the insights in a much better way. So that's one thing that business analysts are focused on. Then a data engineer builds and tests scalable big data ecosystem for the businesses so that the data scientists can run their algorithm systems that are stable and highly optimized. Right, so they are making the job easier for the data scientists. And then ML engineer uses different algorithms and statistical modeling to make sense of data. They are also expected to perform A/B testing. Which one will work, A or B? Build data pipelines and implement common machine learning algorithms such as classification, clustering, k-means clustering, all of that stuff. Right, that comes under this machine learning engineer part. Then a data scientist who does everything. A data scientist understands the challenges in businesses and comes up with the best solutions using modern tools and techniques. So if you want database knowledge, you will need SQL. If you need to know a few programming languages, maybe R, maybe Python. If you need to visualize the data, maybe Tableau, maybe Power BI. All those tools and techniques you will be using to analyze, visualize, and eventually build prediction models to make businesses decisions. So that's the beauty of a data scientist. Now these are a few roles that we had. Now it is time for you to understand that we talked about a lot of skills, but how do you gain those skills? Now there are two approaches, and which is going to be very simple. See, one way is a random approach. So every day you finish your college, you go home, you do one course, you go to a few articles, you read a few blogs, you go to our YouTube channel, you search for a few videos, see a 1 hour video, 2 hour video randomly, or you go to a few websites, do one or two courses randomly. So that's a random approach. You do not know where you are headed, but you just are interested in the field, so you are learning. That's a good approach to begin with. But if you are serious about the data science field, the approach that you should take is a structured approach. Now, what's a structured approach? There, you will be in line with industry expectations of skills needed. Generally, in India especially, one major issue is that, and that happens with our education system as well. The thing is that there's a mismatch between what you are learning and what are the skills which are required by the companies. You are learning A, company requires B, there's a mismatch, you won't get a job. What if company requires A and you learn A and there's no gap between that, so definitely you will be able to get the job. So the benefit of a structured approach is that mismatch will be nullified. There won't be any mismatch. There won't be any gap between where you are and where you want to be. And you will be learning the skills which are expected by the company. You will have all the skill set which is expected and required by the company. Then to gain formal exposure, clear markers along the journey. One bad thing that all of us do as human beings are that we are not consistent. We start with something, but eventually we are like, let's leave it. But that's not a very good strategy. That again comes in random approach, which is not a great idea if you are serious about the field. So if you take a structured approach, there should be clear markers that, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve. First of all, I'm going to clear database. Then I'm going to clear programming tools. Then I'm going to clear this. Once I'll do this, I will be doing an assignment. Once I'll do this, I will be doing a quiz. Once I'll do this, I will be working on a project. Right, so those are clear markers along the journey which really helps you. Then cohorts and competition. Healthy competition is always good. One student has a question, the other student can answer it. Using the doubt forums, cohorts, competitions, that helps as well. Interacting with the faculties, interacting with the students and sharing their insights, understanding what they know about the field, different domains. And eventually you will be able to get a rewarding career in a booming industry. Right, so that's how a structured approach works. And there's no mismatch between what you're learning and what are the skills which are actually required. Now, if you want a structured approach like this, well, Great Learning has a lot of things to offer you. Let me take you to our website where I'll be showing you what are the different fields that we have, where you can start learning about all those things in a much more structured way. So as you can see on the screen, this is our website, that is mygreatlearning.com. So if you go to Google and type www.mygreatlearning.com, you will end up on this website. Now, if you go on this website, you will be able to explore different programs that we have, and there are so many of the programs that we have in the technical as well as in the management domain. Now, since we are talking about, and we have actually a partnership with world's top universities like Texas, Great Lakes Executive Learning, and so many, IIT Roorkee, for example, Stanford Business. So all those different top universities we have collaboration with, we have partnership with, and definitely that's going to help you. If you want to know more about our universities, our collaborations with such universities, you can click over here, read about all those details. Now, to talk about our data science program, as you can see over here, that we have specified everything on our website, that what are the different programs that we have. If you are interested only in ML, only in AI, boot camps are there, management side, cloud computing, cyber security, software development, all those programs are there. Since we are talking a lot about data science today, let's try and understand what all we have in the data science domain. So if you click on the data science domain, you will be able to see all the programs and the boot camps or whatever we have in the domain of data science. So as you can see over here, that we have a PGP in data science and business analytics, which is DSBA program by Great Learning. Then MIT data science and machine learning program, PGP in data science and engineering, which is a boot camp. And you can also see the duration over here. This is an 11 months online program. This is a 12 weeks online program. Now this boot camp is a classroom program, which is for 5 months, right? And here you will be able to learn from dedicated faculties from MIT. As you can see over here, learn from MIT faculty, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. There are live sessions as well. There is placement assistance as well. So somebody was asking me, can I get a job? If you are a part of programs like this, definitely you will be able to get a job as well. So that's not going to be an issue. So if you go to any of these programs, let's say we choose this one and you are interested in this area. So we have, all the details about the program, that what are the different, skills that you will be learning, tools you will be working on, projects you will be working on, everything mentioned over here. And we have so many hiring partners. So once you actually are a part of this program and you complete the program, you get your certificates, and along with that we have so many hiring partners. So we will definitely be helping you with career assistance as well, and you will be able to end up with a good job too, right? So there'll be 50% average salary hike that we can expect if you have done these courses, 66% alumni career transitions, 3,000 plus 13,000 plus hiring partners. You can read our people who are getting into these companies like Urmi Sarkar, all these different people getting into these companies as specialists and as for different roles like IT analysts, and they have done these kind of programs and have got these jobs. What are the benefits of these programs, whether you are the suitable fit for it or not, all these things you can find on our website. Even if you want to understand that what exactly is the curriculum, so you will see that we start from very basics. For example, if you take this data science, if you come here, data science foundations, we will start from intro to data science and business finance, marketing and CRM, SQL programming, Python for data science. Then we'll start with the techniques like advanced statistics, data mining, predictive modeling, time series forecasting, machine learning, optimization techniques. Then comes the domain exposure. I told you, right? When we're talking about data science, domain knowledge is very, very important in the industry. So marketing, retail, web and social media analytics, finance and risk analytics, supply chain, logistics, all those different domain knowledge. Then visualizations. So Tableau, Power BI, these are a few tools and we will be covering all of that. Right? You will also be working on a lot of projects, and these sessions are mostly blended. You get online sessions as well as live sessions. Then there are mock interviews, resume building, and you eventually get a certificate from renowned universities along with Great Learning collaboration. Then languages and tools that you will be learning like Python, R, Tableau, SQL, all those different tools and languages. And what are the projects that you will be working on? Netflix personalized recommendation. I gave you this example. Netflix and Prime recommendation, sentiment analysis. Then all those different projects that you will be a part of. Who's our faculty? The faculties are from top institutes. For example, Dr. Abhinanda Sarkar, he's from Stanford University, PhD in statistics. You can see over here. Then there are people from different for example, Dr. PK Vishwanathan. He's from MBA from FMS Delhi, and he's a professor analytics and operations. So he is going to be the one who's going to teach you a part of the course. And that's the beauty of this course. You will be getting a very structured approach. You will be getting a certificate at the end, along with learning all the tools and the programming languages and the different softwares which are required. So that's the beauty of these programs. I hope this has given you an idea. If you are interested in our program, go to our website, download the brochure by giving your details, and our program managers will reach out to you in case you have any queries as well. You want to understand what kind of programs you offer, what is the fee structure, all those things you can get as a part of this package and this structured program, this structured approach, and our program managers will be able to help you out. So just click on download brochure, provide your details, download it, and then our managers or the program managers will reach out and will help you out with all the stuff that you have queries about. Now again, let's go back to the slides, and we don't have anything else to cover. It is time for you to ask me any questions if you have. You want to understand anything, you have not understood anything throughout this session, you want to share something, please do let me know in the chat box. So it is time for all of you to ask me any questions, any doubts that you may have throughout this session. Chandra, how to land up a job in product-based companies? So Chandra, if you want product-based companies, first of all, you should have some domain knowledge about those companies. Second thing, you should learn all the skills that we talked about. If you have the skills, you have the particular domain knowledge, you can start applying directly. There are so many platforms for that. Right, once you'll go to those platforms, for example, you can go to LinkedIn. In Great Learning also we have Career Boost. If you go to Career Boost, you apply, you will able to figure out what are the good choices for you, and eventually you will be able to read the GD and you will be able to figure out whether there is a mismatch between your skills and what the companies are asking or not. To begin with, what you can do is try to get the job description of different companies. Go to the websites of these product based companies, like you have given an example of one. Go to the websites of these companies, see what they have written in the job description, see what they have written in the roles and responsibilities of that particular area of that particular job role. Figure out whether you have all those skills or not. If you don't, try to learn those skills, try to get some certifications. Once all of that is done, you have the skills, then you can directly apply, and I'm sure you will be able to get it. I hope that answers your query. All right, so I think we are already, I'll just spend some 1 more minute. So if you have any queries, please be quick and do let me know, because it's already 7:02 and we have extended 2 minutes. We'll try to wind up the session by 7:04. So please do let me know if you have any queries, anything that you want to ask. Rajiv is again asking average package for data science. Rajiv, all I can tell you is that it is a booming field and people are paid really, really well. But how much package you are going to get, that completely depends upon what exactly is the role that you are at. Maybe you are a lead data scientist, associate, or a data analyst, a business analyst. So that will depend upon that. Data science is a vast field and there are so many different job roles in that area. Right? So it depends upon your skills, your experience, or your educational background. It will be decided, but I'm sure it's not gonna be, it's gonna be very good if you see at other industries and compare it with other industries in the similar kind of roles. All right, so I hope I have answered all your queries. If you have any specific questions about our program that I showed you on our website, do visit www.mygreatlearning.com. Once you'll go there, you will be able to see a lot of our programs, right, in the different domains. Download the brochure. Once you'll download the brochure, they'll ask you to provide your details, give your phone number, email ID, download the brochure. Once you'll do that, our program managers will reach out to you, will help you out, in understanding all the nitty-gritties of those programs. If you want a few free programs as well, we have Great Learning Academy. So you can go to Great Learning Academy, just go to Google, type Great Learning Academy free courses. And we have a lot of free courses, just 1 hour, 2 hours for different skills that you can start learning. So try to figure out, once you will take those free courses, you will be able to understand whether that field is right for you or not. And then you can take a better decision. right? We also have a YouTube channel on which you are watching this video right now, right? So if you are interested, go to our YouTube channel, try to figure out, what is the different type of videos that we have in the area of data science. And there are so many. We have covered almost everything in the area of data science. Try to learn those skills and figure out, whether it is something that interests you or not. And based upon that, I'm sure you'll be able to take a much better informed decision. All right, then I think these are the questions, and I have tried taking all the questions that I could see on my screen right now. So again, I am very, very happy that you all were very enthusiastic throughout this session. I would formally like to thank each one of you to provide the time and the energy that you have put in to write all your queries and be very, very interactive throughout. So once again, thank you everybody for attending this session. I hope you have an amazing career if you are planning to switch to data.